years plus in your journey in Futa, 5 years plus. I mean, even after you have graduated, you can be sure that you have set yourself on the path of success. This morning, I would like to start a bit, it's going to be a little bit of digression. I was intending yesterday that I would continue from vision. But yesterday when the director of Segist was talking, I caught a bit of a burden to address this in a moment. I have a responsibility as an individual, and by the virtue of my lifetime assignment of reaching out to young people, to tell you the truth and not to sound politically correct or inclined. Let me share a bit of an experience I had with you when I was in SS1. It should be, I can't remember the organization vividly, but I know the key facilitators were core members. They came into our school, St. Thomas Aquinas College, and it was called peer education class. Our assignment was that they wanted to teach us on HIV and AIDS, how to avoid it, and their intention is that if they train us, we will in turn impact our friends. And they taught us a lot of things until they started confusing me as a person. Because as a student or a learner, I pay close attention to details. The first problem I had with them was that they taught us about why we shouldn't have sex. And to make matter worse, they spoke to us about abstinence. I was excited about abstinence. And guess what? Then they told us about contraceptives. If they just taught us for information's sake, I wouldn't have a problem. They went on to share condoms. We were teenagers. I was 14 years old. That was my first time of handling a condom. And they went on to even teach us how to use some. And this was the validation for that act. They ended the conversation with a pin drop conversation or comment that in case you can't hold yourself, use condom. So yesterday, I was a little bit aggrieved as I heard this statement or these phrases or words. You may have sex, but don't have unprotected sex. When you go online and you're about to enter a pornographic site, you would see 18 plus only. Am I right? When you want to get a pack of cigarettes, you would see if you're under 18, don't touch this. When you go to a betting site, you would see that if you're under 18, don't bet. Can I remind you that the age bracket set on those things really means nothing? Because even if they had said, if you're 25 years, don't touch pornography, don't touch alcohol, don't touch gambling, the consequences of wrong act remains the same across age group. However, the gravity of the consequences is what changes. But for every action, there is an equal consequence. Are we together? This is the foundational pillar of morality, that every act of wrongdoing comes with a definite, sometimes not instantaneous, but assuredly a consequence. And every act of good, you may not get it in your lifetime, but your children may be the one to reap. If you hear and you understand what I've just said, say every action comes with a consequence or a reward. So this morning, I just want to share with you a bit about what I've tagged the sex trap. I've been married for over about 3 years now. So I've been having sex. And I was told that this thing in my hand is a license to have sex. However, wearing these only gives me license to have sex with just one woman for the rest of my life. Well, I got married as a virgin. My wife got married as a virgin. So I want to share with you my pre-marriage experience as a young man. I want to announce to you that I will use your language and don't go yucky on me this morning. I had many moments when I equally felt horny. There were afternoons that I had erections, not because I had ungodly thoughts. There were mornings when I wake up and Brother John Bull was saying, won't you get some this morning? I had reasons to masturbate. I had reasons to go watch pornography. And I will tell you this morning, sometimes I fell flat for the lie. Yes, sir, did you watch pornography? I did. Did you indeed masturbate? I did. So if you're there seated, don't think I just came to all some stones of condemnation at you, because I probably was where you are right now some years ago. This was what I discovered about pornography. Many years down the line, God helped me, and I picked up the same monster that battered my vision for years. I wanted to understand this classic enemy, because if you do not understand your enemy, you can't fight it well and you will never win it. The first thing I discovered those years about pornography is none of it is real. Oh, sir, probably you didn't watch pornography like I did. Yes, I do. I can mention sites right now. Yes. And the different subsection, Asian, black, lesbians, gay. I got some of you this morning. But none of it is real. Then what do you mean? You don't have real people doing those things. Nobody does pornography in their right senses. Let me help you understand what I just said. Mom? Yes. Can you stand up, please? Just stand where you are. Put your hands together for her, please. In case this is your first time of listening to me speak, around, I want to encourage you to please register. Remember, I told you I have a speaking engagement not this Saturday, next week Saturday at 8 a.m. exclusive for freshers. I will have ample time. All right, my time is so short this morning. I will teach you extensively on these things. The secret to life and to conviction is the truth. The problem we have is we have time for everything else, but through meetings where the truth is being taught uncensored. And that is what I'm called to do, to teach you the truth uncensored. Mom, if I have such powers, and I can point at you right now, and your clothes will go off your body, that is, instantly you go naked, what will you do immediately? You will scream and run out. But before you run out, you will go. The instinct, the natural instinct that follows nakedness is shame. If you doubt what I'm talking about, even if you were 4 years old, many 4 years old don't want to be outside. Am I right? Am I right? There is an instinct. Either, thank you, please, you can have your seat. Either you're a male or you're a female. The natural instinct, once you gain recognition of your body that follows nakedness, is shame. And the definition of nakedness includes your breast, your thighs, your cleavage. That is part of your nakedness. Nobody in their right senses goes to a room under the optics and sleep with a man that is not their wife or with a lady. In fact, wives don't exist for women. I studied and I observed that every single one of them had to be drugged. 1, 2. Pornography don't last for as long as you think. I do a bit of music, movie production, just a little bit. You can call it amateur. Now, for instance, every movie is a combination of scenes. You know that, right? And those movies are not necessarily shot the same day. Do you know that? Some movies are shot over a period of a year. Do you know that? But you sit and you watch a year project just in 30, 22 hours. The same way they do pornography. Some of the pornography videos you watch in 5 minutes was shot over a period of 12 hours. Those who do it, they get exhausted, they get drugged again and again. Did you see the way they laugh at the camera? You don't have normal people, because nobody in their natural senses will stand in front of a camera and sleep with a person who is not their husband. So listen, for every single time you click on your phone, on your PCs, and you watch pornography, what you're watching is not an entertainment feed. You are being ministered to. Did you hear what I just said? I forgot to add that the same way in movies, when you get a punch, you see the person you punch jump from here to there. They are all VFX. They apply it equally to pornography. So what is the catch? The idea is to make masturbation and sex look so grandiose, and oh my, you don't know what you're missing, you young person. You don't know, oh my, come get some. And you hear concept like moaning. So you can't wait to also reach the peak. Some of you here who lost your virginity, you know deep down in your